Okay. Yes, injury report. A Cook is good. Came out of the game with a little bit of soreness, just body-wise, but feels good. Isaiah's and Tyrese have been, obviously getting treatment, but they've been full go in practice. And then we've got, call early, a little bit later in the evening on James's, with James's surgeon to see, what this week holds there. So, but he's been, in practice. So probably won't get that information until either later tonight or tomorrow on James via a press release. Questions?
Roger?
And you guys have been drastically different the last two games, a different team in terms of offensive efficiency and sustained effort. Do you know that the real UConn team is the team that played against Xavier and not the one that played Providence last time?
Yeah, I mean, listen, but we've gotten healthier. We've added, we added, obviously, with Andre and a Cook has changed the complexion of our team with their talent. We've missed James. We've dealt with other situations during the season. I mean, there's a reason why we've been inconsistent. They're not excuses. There's a difference between excuses and reasons. There's reasons. We played well on Saturday. We're guaranteed nothing tomorrow. Success isn't guaranteed or owned. Success is rented. And we've got to earn success tomorrow by coming out like the team we were on Saturday.
Gavin?
Dan, do you think they have a better understanding how they need to play offensively? Not that you haven't been telling them, but as far as attacking and everything, now that they have a win?
I mean, the complexion of our team has changed. So we could play a faster, more attacking, more aggressive, more possession style of game. When your talent increases on your team, when you have as much talent or more talent than your opponent, you want more possessions. You'd like to try to get the game going faster. When you are at an offensive disadvantage or you're at a depth disadvantage or at a talent deficit, you want less possessions in the game. So based on our health and what we have available, we would like to, at this particular moment, as we're getting healthier, we would like to go faster. We would like to attack more.
Danny Barletta?
Yeah, Coach, is it helpful when you get to play a team like twice in a week, like a really quick turnaround, or do you think does it not really matter if it's that close? Yeah,
I mean, I don't think a lot of what's gone on or what goes on in a kind of crazy year like this, you throw a lot of things that you think are going to happen out the window because the year has been so crazy. I mean, it's easier on the prep work. You probably have more time to deal with your team and individuals and how they're feeling and the group health, like mentally and just the togetherness when, when you don't have to pour over 6 or 7 games because you haven't seen a team. So obviously you watch our game, you watch their game versus DePaul, and try to anticipate adjustments.
Pat, Eaton, Rob?
Dan, can you talk about Cook's minutes? Are you planning to ramp them up a little bit, and how much do you have to hold him back in terms of the injury and getting him where he wants to be?
Yeah, I'd say there's probably a cap on how much he could give us at this point because he did miss some time and his cardio is definitely not there. But he got he played, I don't know what he played, 9 minutes in the first half the other day, or 8, maybe played 8. And I probably could have maybe seen him go into a max of 15 based on the minutes restriction. But then, just other guys had it going in the second half, and which probably kept them away from the 15.
Charlotte?
Dan, granted they played different positions, but how has Bouknight's absence made Adama a stronger player, or has it kind of helped him along developmentally?
Yeah, I mean, it's helped Adama and Andre a lot. I think it's helped RJ a lot, just because they've had to do more. They've had to lead more. They've had to, carry the weight of leadership because, James a big personality, and James is a spectacular talent player and an alpha. So more just got put on the shoulders of those young guys and RJ, but in particular Adama, we just had to put, a lot more on a freshman, and a freshman that reclassed up. So, not only, is he just a freshman, he was a freshman that moved up a class.
Tom?
Dan, I know you pay some attention to the metrics and the bracketology and things of that nature. And I'm just wondering, how do you interpret where you guys are at this point? And do you feel like your goals for the year are still in front of you, still within reach with a half a dozen or so games to go and maybe Bouknight back? Yeah,
I mean, I think that, to be in the position that we're in at this point, after, just the adversity that the group's dealt with, on a number of levels, probably most significantly the injuries to guys, which has changed the complexion of things. I mean, a team in our situation in the year 3 of our process that loses what we lost and is still in position to reach a lofty goal is it's a testament to the group and how tough they've been and how committed they've been throughout a season that's been challenging for a lot of teams, not just us. So losing Book could have been a knockout punch for a program that was still trying to get its footing in year 3. But we've hung in there, and when he does return, or if he doesn't, we still have a shot to accomplish our main goal. So in the end, obviously achieving your goals is critical, but it's also the way we've gone about achieving our goal is a great measure of where we're going.
Dave?
Considering how well RJ's played the last couple of games and kind of the role off the bench, are you tempted to kind of keep him in that role, or do you kind of move him back into the starting lineup since Jalen struggled a little bit, or you kind of keep things the way they've been?
Yeah, I mean, RJ, his game against Xavier, was probably as good a game as a point guard has played in the Big East this year, and that's saying something because there's some great ones. We'll see. I mean, I like. I think if you look at RJ's last handful of games, he's been really good. His numbers are climbing, shooting wise. He's finishing better in the paint. He's just doing everything better. The message that we want to send to RJ is the leadership piece, the bringing intangibles as a point guard. That's why I moved him, because he wasn't giving us everything he had. He was giving us, what he wanted to give us, but not the grit and the determination and the leadership. And we're starting to get that along with the Sterling play. So we'll see.
K-Mac?
Hey, Dan, that actually was more of an RJ question. Anything that happened between the Providence game and the Xavier game with your guards? Obviously, we saw that, you were not happy, a little dejected after that Providence game offensively. It wasn't just a Cook. It was kind of a team-wide different energy level at Xavier that I noticed anyways.
Yeah, I mean, the players got together, they met. I think they vented a little bit. I think there's a lot of people with the program that was really happy with the way things are going. This is a hard place to be when you're losing, for players and coaches. So, in RJ's situation, I think, Kevin, he's had some halves like he had against Xavier. But, we've been pressing him, and I've been pressing him to give us a full game. Like his first half versus Providence was really, really good. But then he didn't follow it up with the second half. He didn't give us the full 40. So he gave us a full 40 in Cincinnati, and we got a huge win.
Great. Thank you.
You got it, my friend.
Sean Pregame.
Hey, Coach, just to tick off topic here, just wondering if you could talk to me a little bit about recruiting and how maybe COVID-19 has kind of changed some things. I know, UConn, you guys are probably in a better position than some schools with recruits lined up and so forth, with the NCAA repeat rules and high school kids missing some seasons. Can you lend a perspective on the challenges right now?
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, it's tough to obviously evaluating is really, really hard because you can't see anybody in person. Building a rapport, building a relationship. I think what's scary, what's scary moving on from this class that we've got coming in with Hawk and Sewell and Sampson, and then what we're going to do late. We've got some work to do there to really get this thing where we want to get it. The hard thing is if things don't open up, like you don't know the people, they don't understand your culture because they don't get a chance to visit and feel it and see it. And that's why when Tyrese left, that was so important because it was a guy I had history with. So the evaluation and the fit, whether you're good for each other, is tough if you don't ever get a chance to meet. But we'll see. Hopefully things get better with the vaccine and everything.
Thank you, Coach.
Wayne?
Dan, more on Adama. He looks like a totally different player now than the first couple of games of the season. A few words about his development and that he was named Freshman of the Week today.
Yeah, great honor. I mean, we should be in a regular season now. We'd be a game or two. We'd be 3 games into conference play or something right now. So obviously, there was some tough sledding early. But we've continued to invest in him because he's a special guy. He's a special player. I think he's going to be considered. A guy, as you look back in the program and as you see, the ascension back up the mountain, hopefully to its rightful place at UConn in the world of college basketball, that Adama Sanogo is going to have a huge hand in that. And these freshmen, I mean, what Dre's had to deal with, and Adama just not getting the game experience. The game experience has helped both of these guys. And they lost the summer. I mean, it's been tough for them, but those two guys are going to have a huge hand in bringing this thing back. They're both special guys.
Kevin?
Dan, you're kind of running out of time to make up some games. I know you probably won't get them all in, but you've talked before trying to make up maybe a kind of a quad one type game. Is that still a possibility?
Yeah, I mean, we tried to, we were willing to do one. There was a game that we were in for that just it didn't happen. So we'll play the games that we've got on the schedule.
Mike Crispino.
Hey, Dan, after the game the other day, you talked about the ball moving, the team feeling more connected. How much of that do you attribute to Andre becoming part of that starting lineup? He's such a good passer and handler of the ball and good defender.
Yeah, no, he's had a huge impact, kind of like a little bit like the impact that Gaffney had on us offensively last year. And obviously it helped that you had multiple guys play well on offense. I mean, when you have guys making shots, it's and really offense, I don't know, saw something today where we're think we're 39th in offensive efficiency. I thought so somewhere in shot quality, we were 30th in the country this year. We've struggled at times finishing around the rim. We've haven't, we've missed some late free throws that have cost us games. But he's had a big impact because he's so easy to play with on offense because he's not hunting offense. He's just makes it easy and it's fun to play with him. And then his energy has changed. Cook and Andre, obviously some guy like Isaiah, RJ played great, but a Cook and Dre changed our energy going into that game on Saturday.
Jeff Jacobs.
Hey, Dan, I know the game's at home. I know there's no fans, but I was doing a column. I'm from Rhode Island originally, and I got a lot of guys that are big PC fans, and there's some beauties among them. And I was just wondering what makes, in your mind, the Providence College fans unique, having been on the other end of that?
Yeah, I mean, I just, there's so many similarities growing up in New York, New Jersey, metropolitan area. New England, I think it's similar. It's just hardcore sports fans. They're tough on their teams. They're tough on their coaches. They have very high expectations. They're very boisterous and heavily invested. You take your sports and they take their college basketball, they take their Red Sox and their Celtics. They take it really seriously. To the point, obviously, it gets a little extreme and at times, but if they're that into it, then God bless them. Right? I mean,